I never want to get into a car again.
It wasn't such a long drive.
15 hours isn't such a long drive.
I'm sorry I didn't keep you entertained.
I knew we should have flown. I knew it.
What difference does it make? The whole trip was a waste of time.
Brandon?
It was. Dad didn't come back with us, and he didn't even want to see me.
I told you he wanted to see you. Something came up that he couldn't put off.
If he wanted to see me, he would have.
Brandon, he loves you. How many times do I have to tell you that? Look at him. Now he's all upset all over again.
He's tired.
Yeah, well, I'm tired. I'm tired of all of this. I'm tired of fighting. There's nothing left anymore.
Hey, that doesn't sound like you.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be realistic for a change. And believe me, no one hates it more than I do. But it's true. Where do I have to turn? I didn't even have the guts to look at Keith face to face and say that our marriage is over.
I knew I should have taken care of that jerk for you.
And Sonny. Sonny was my last chance to get the real big money, and I blew that, too.
Hey, look on the bright side.
Bright side? There's no bright side. What have I got?
Well?
See, no answers.
Hey, I'm not through yet. You got a friend. That's what you got. You got a good friend who cares about you.
CC's not going to pay any attention to that subpoena. He's probably destroyed those records the second that he heard that I was asking questions.
I don't think so. He may want to skirt the law, but I don't think he wants to go to jail for destroying evidence.
Do you actually believe that he's going to turn over those files?
Yes, I do, if we put enough pressure on him, and you've got plenty of evidence to indicate that the rig workers' deaths were more than a coincidence.
Enough to build a case?
Enough to win it.
Well, I'll be happy as long as CC doesn't worm his way out of his responsibility to those families. I gotta go down to OR.
I'll talk to you later. This is going to be an important case.
Good morning. I came over to inform you that I've instructed everyone at Capwell Industries to fully cooperate with you in your investigation.
Now that you've got all the paperwork under wraps.
Julie, I think all those medical files were lost because of some clerical error.
Yeah, you got Rosemary Woods working for you now, huh?
I will be around for you if you wish to question me concerning the case.
I'm not at liberty to discuss this case with you, CC. However, I will be questioning you at some point, most likely under oath.
Judy, I realize you're doing your job, but it must be very difficult for you dealing with Mason.
This is professional. That's personal.
Oh, come on now. I don't know why you call up the marriage to Mason, but I know how much you two love each other. A love like that doesn't die that easily. I had high hopes for the two of you.
If I don't get those documents in 24 hours, I'll begin proceedings. I'll see you both in court.
No, I'll be there. I'm not going to let you down. Well, I understand that she's on 2 weeks vacation, so it's no big deal. I'll deal with it. Yeah. Listen, I'll talk to you about it when I get there, okay? Okay. Bye.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Well,
Brent welcoming me back.
Well, you said you'd have to deal with it? What does that mean?
Well, the lead story today is possibly an indictment against my father.
Oh, my God, what now?
Well, apparently Julia, our district attorney, thinks that Scott Clark has some evidence linking cancer deaths to working conditions on the oil rigs at Capwell Enterprises.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing something about that. You're not blaming Julia for this?
No, I'm not blaming her. I just wish she would have called me. I mean, evidently, this is the rigmarole that kept my mother and father from being married last night.
You know, maybe you should pick another day to go back to work.
No, I'm going. I'm looking forward to this. If I shied away from my job every time my father hit the headlines, I'd never work.
That's probably true. Your old man has a tendency to find himself in the middle of a mess, doesn't he?
You don't think he's responsible for those men's deaths, do you?
Well, not directly. I mean, 15 or 20 years ago, which is when it mattered, nobody'd heard the word carcinogenic.
Well, when the evidence comes out, I'm sure he'll be cleared. But until then, I'm not backing away from this.
You sure there's no way I could talk you into skipping it and maybe doing something highly irresponsible with me?
No, and oh. As a matter of fact, I think that today is the day we go full steam ahead with our normal lives.
It'd be nice to get some steam back into our lives.
Speaking of steam, how about we have a nice special celebration tonight?
I like the sound of it.
What did Dr. Janelle have to say?
It appears that independent records of the lab tests done on the workman may exist.
May exist. It's obviously that's what Julie's got her hands on. How damaged do you think it might be?
Well, not as bad as the full medical records, but probably enough to build a case on.
Good thing you got rid of those medical files when you did.
Yeah. And we don't know for sure that Julia has her hands on those independent files.
Oh, she's got something, or she wouldn't be pushing a case like this.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what she comes up with in court.
Are you out of your mind? If we go to court, we'll stack the jury against us. A little guy against a big, bad company. Julia trooping all those families. We won't have a prayer. Now, what kind of evidence she's got?
At this point, I don't know what else I can do.
You can reconcile with Julia. What? You heard me.
You can't be serious.
I couldn't be more serious.
You really expect me to do that just to save your neck, don't you?
Mason, don't get on your high horse with me. The woman still loves you. I found that out just talking to her a moment ago. And you still love her.
You don't give a damn about our feelings. You're just looking for a way to stay out of court.
Well, that would be definitely a side benefit of reconciliation, yes.
There will be no reconciliation.
Oh, come on, Mason. Julia's the best thing that ever happened to you in your life. I believed that before this case came on. I still believe it.
You saw what happened at the wedding. She wants nothing to do with me.
I don't believe it, not for a minute. You had a beautiful daughter together. I know what kind of a bond that is. I don't know what the hell you did to make Julia call off the wedding, and I haven't pushed you to find out, but I think you ought to find out all about it and get it together. I think she's pushing this case real hard to get revenge on you. Now, we've already had some bad publicity. If it gets any worse, we'll be sitting ducks dead in the water. No matter what kind of evidence she's got. Now, get her back.
Funny. I realize you're trying to help me, and I really appreciate it. But I've gotten myself in these situations before, and I'll get myself out of it on my own.
You don't have to do this on your own. Me, I don't like the way Sonny walked out on you. I could make him think very carefully about what he did to you.
Funny, I am in no mood to even think about that right now.
Okay. Maybe you should take a rest. Do something for yourself. Let's go shopping.
What good would that do? We're just gonna fight over the dresses. We have the same taste.
No, this is your day. I promise you, I won't even consider a dress unless you pass over it first. We could find something very beautiful. There's a place in Montecito I found. They just got new designer originals yesterday.
Well, it's a sweet idea, but I have some other problems I have to take care of first. Didn't you see the look on Brandon's face when he walked out?
Yeah. I told you, he's tired, that's all. Get over it.
Yeah, what happens when Christmas rolls around and I can't afford to buy him anything?
I got a feeling the only thing he needs for Christmas is something money can't buy.
I know. He wants Keith back. But I can't give him that. So I'm just gonna do whatever I have to. I'm not gonna let Brandon suffer. I'm gonna give him the best Christmas ever.
You do not give up on your deal with Sonny.
There's two things you should know about me. I'm very pushy and I'm very persistent. I never give up on anything. I'm gonna go see how Brandon is.
Rocco, Bunny. Yeah. You know the one you owe me? There's a guy named Mason Kaplan.
Kids did a nice job, didn't they? What?
Nothing. I think looking at the pictures kind of brought back some memories.
Good or bad?
Oh, good. Good. Whenever I think about Christmas, God, I think back to like when I was 5 and 6 years old. My family had the greatest time those Christmases. It was incredible. Everybody'd get together. It'd be my mom and my dad and Michael and I and my grandparents. It'd be like one of those corny, sentimental old movies. We'd go for sleigh rides. Oh.
Well, I can promise you there won't be any snow in Santa Barbara for Christmas.
You know what, Scott? Why don't we go away someplace? Come on, someplace really romantic that does have snow. It'll be great. We can sit in front of the fireplace on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day we can go ice skating and sledding. It'll be great.
I can't. I've already committed myself to working more days around Christmas.
Well, you know, maybe you can just get a couple of shifts covered so you can do both. Come on, it's going to be our first Christmas. Let's make it one to remember.
There were a lot of people who made plans already. I doubt I'll be able to find somebody to fill in for me.
You can try.
All right, I will, but if I don't... Look, I'll give it a shot, okay?
You know, I don't suppose you need anyone to remind you, but I might mention that this is not going to be easy today.
I know, but I have to do it.
Well, you don't have to do it. I'm sure somebody else could do it.
Actually, it's something I learned from you.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a time that I think that I wouldn't have done this story because it would hurt my family. But you taught me about responsibility. And I have a responsibility to my job, which means I have a responsibility to tell the truth.
Oh, great. So when your father comes over here loaded for bear, he can just chew my head off for putting you up to this, right?
No. The fact is, if he's innocent of all these charges, there's nothing for him to worry about, and I'll do just as big a story on that as I do on this one.
Have I told you lately how proud I am to be married to you?
Yes, all the time.
Well, shut my mouth and call me redundant.
Redundant?
Hey, I already did that. You don't have to do that.
Oh, I think you better get going. I think we're going to have a great day.
Well, I think we are. How can we miss, especially since we have such a nice evening to look forward to? You did mention, I believe, something about a certain special celebration, did you not?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You know, come to think of it, we probably have enough time for a little sneak preview before you hit the road.
No. We'll never get to work.
So?
Responsibility.
I think just this once we could probably duck responsibility.
I don't think so.
And you say I'm the one who put you up to this responsibility, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's your fault. Let's go.
Obviously, I was too good a teacher.
Michael, you've done such a great job with this place.
Yeah, you think so? I had a lot of help. It looks good, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks great. I bet the people in the neighborhood are really excited, huh?
Well, the kids, yeah. A lot of them, that's going to be their first Christmas mass ever.
Oh. You think Daddy's going to be back in time? I hope so. Have you heard anything from him?
No. I haven't heard since he went to the conference. I want you and Scott to come Christmas Eve. It is going to be so beautiful. We're going to have candles everywhere.
Michael, I'm sure it's going to be great,
singing
but
Magnificat.
I don't know if we're going to be able to make it.
You're not going to go away.
I don't know that yet either.
You don't know? My sister Heather hasn't got this whole plan out 2 weeks in advance. What's wrong, Doctor?
Well, maybe I ought to ask you for some advice here.
All right. What do we got here? The Christmas blues?
No, I don't. I think Scott does, though. He doesn't seem real excited about the holidays coming up.
Well, did he say anything? Did he explain?
No. He didn't say anything. It's just kind of a feeling I got.
Well, it's not unusual. I mean, it's a pretty rough time of year for lots of people.
Yeah, I know, but I love Christmas so much. You know, you remember when we were kids, how much fun we used to have?
Really? Well, there was the electric football game,
Come on,
right?
there was more than that. Give me a
Remember.
break. Regardless of that, I want this to be a great Christmas. I wanted to rent a cabin up in the mountains and go skiing. And there's this really wonderful couple who has this really great inn. We could stay there. We could have Christmas dinner with them. We could go back to our rooms and lay down by the fire. It'd be so nice.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, but we can't go because Scott's planning on working all holiday.
Well, you could spend Christmas with me. I'm going to be celebrating with the kids down at the children's home. It's not a romantic retreat, but it's
Michael,
pretty good.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound insensitive when I was talking about what I wanted.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, as far as Scott goes, I think you should probably go very slow.
Yeah, the thing is that he won't talk about it. He won't tell me.
Well, maybe it's too painful for him.
Well, the hard thing is that I don't know what he's thinking because he won't talk.
Well, if you push him too hard, it could be worse for both of you.
No comment. I'm glad to see you.
Busy morning?
About 20 calls from the press, and you know, I get the distinct impression that CC had his men plant rumors in order to throw this case.
What do you mean?
What I mean is the questions that they're asking. Nothing to do with whether Capwell Enterprises has overlooked safety regulations. More to do with why I, as the district attorney, is using the public office to get back at my former fiancé.
It's a good question.
A2?
Well, what do you expect? I'm married to a Capwell.
You're also a champion for the little guy.
I know. It's a servant of the truth. A helpless servant of the truth, I prefer, which is something we have in common, I believe.
We do. Listen, I was going to call Eden this morning. I hope she's not too upset about this.
Well, she would have preferred a phone call that she's maintaining. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How did it go with the suspects? Did you find anything?
No, they all had alibis. Right now, forensics is working up a report on the footprint I found on the beach. Do you recognize anything about that guy?
I can't help you because I didn't see the guy's face. He was wearing a mask the whole time.
Okay. You didn't come back to work too soon after what he put you through, did you?
No. I wanted to come back here. There's no way in hell I'm going to let that animal think that he's going to destroy my life.
There you go. If it's any consolation, I do believe we're getting closer to catching him every day.
It is a case that I'm looking forward to prosecuting.
I think I'd rather settle it out of court.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
I appreciate that.
Revenge can be sweet, though, can't it?
I hope.
Let me know if you hear anything.
First thing.
Eden, honey, I'm glad I found you.
Daddy, is this true?
Do you think I'd knowingly allow those men to be hurt?
All I'm saying is that I worked for Capwell Enterprises, and I know that we definitely didn't have excessively high working standards.
I don't understand how you can suddenly turn against me like this.
No, wait a second. I'm not turning against you. I'm saying I don't want to do the story without the facts, without the truth.
The truth? The truth is the future of our family empire is at stake. That's the truth.
Nothing to do with money. This has to do with these men's lives.
Have you seen any corroborating evidence about these accusations? No, they haven't come out because only accusations have come out.
Well, then, if you're not guilty, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, Eden, please, come on. You're being naive. You know better than that. The public already believes that Capwell Industries is guilty of the deaths of those men. They could destroy us. We gotta stop it now.
There's nothing I can do.
You could make it worse. You being my daughter and going on the air and reading that story over the air, people will think that you believe that the charges against me are valid.
Daddy, I have a job. It requires that I have responsibility. Responsibility is to make sure that what I give to the public is not biased in any way. And I promise you that I will treat you as fairly as the next person.
Terrific. What about your responsibility to my family, to us? You have a choice to make. Or are you forgetting how quickly what happened to Cruz last year? Innocent people's lives are destroyed by false charges, Eden. These happen to be false charges. It's up to you.
Let me out of this thing.
Just calm down, will you?
Calm down. You have your goons snatch me off the street, drag me in here, handcuff me to a chair, and you want me to calm down?
Well, I just got a few questions for you.
So you can ask them from a federal prison, because that's where you go for kidnapping.
You ain't gonna tell anybody about this little episode?
Oh, why wouldn't I?
Of course. You're nutty as a fruitcake. You think you're two different people.
That's not a federal offense.
Maybe it's not. But your scheme with the medical files is.
What medical file?
The ones with Gina. The ones you're saving from your father so you could use against them. Why don't you just tell me where they are? And I'll see if I can't find the keys for these bracelets.
No way.
Come on, Sonny. You made a deal with Gina and she trusted you.
She put you up to this?
I am an independent agent.
Well, sorry, I don't need any insurance.
Very funny. Why can't we do this the easy way? I sort of like you, at least the person of you I know. I promise you, I'm going to find out one way or the other.
That's what you think.
You know, you owe me, buddy. I saved your butt from that card shark.
And I'm going to pay you back as soon as I get my hands on the cash. But what those files are worth, should done be like highway robbery if you took them.
Oh, robbery like you're planning on your daddy?
That's my business.
Well, it's too bad. You know, I tried to do this the nice way. I mean, I really tried. But you didn't let me.
What's that?
Oh, I'm afraid you're gonna find out very first thing.
President-elect Bush and his wife Barbara will spend the weekend at Camp David conferring with the president. Coming next, the deaths of several oil rig workers could be job-related. That story right after this.
30 seconds. Nice job, Eden.
Thanks. Oh, thanks.
Stand by, Eden. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Acting District Attorney Julia Wainwright is investigating charges that several oil rig workers who died of cancer in the past few years were victims of job-related illness. The workers were employed by Capital Enterprises on one of the oil rigs off the Santa Barbara coast. There was no comment from the District Attorney's office about this investigation. Lawyers retained by the families of the late workers are waiting to see if the DA's office decides to file charges. They will announce their plans for any legal actions at that time.
Welcome back, darling.
In other stories...
So we need more evidence.
The clearer the evidence, the more opportunity the families of the victims have to get a larger settlement.
We have to win this case, Julia. I know that CC Capital is responsible for the deaths of my father and the other men. Now, I don't give a damn about the money, but I just want to make sure that he pays for what he's done.
I understand.
Michael.
Hey, Scott.
Hi.
How
you doing?
Yeah, good to see you.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, why don't you sit and join us for a while?
Oh, thanks, I really can't. I'm meeting some donors to our Christmas charity drive.
Oh, well, look, I'm sure that you can sit and join us for a little while.
Well, I suppose we can.
Julie and I were just talking about this case we're trying to build against CC Capital.
Yeah, I know, that's really important to you.
Yeah, it is. Well, actually, it's important to a lot of people in the neighborhood around your church. If they can win a case like this against a man like CC Capital, they might be able to realize that you don't have to be pushed around by people. Those posters for, Mike?
I'm sorry, what?
The posters.
Oh, these are the posters for our Christmas charity drive.
Oh, hey, well, I'll be glad to make a contribution.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And, look, I hope you have a good Christmas, huh? It's good to see you, Joy.
Good to see you too, Michael.
Sure.
He's a really great guy. Really keeps you in line when the girl you're in love with has a brother who's a priest.
I know.
Oh. No diamond wallet? Huh.
And now back to the Emmy Award-winning Santa Barbara.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I just got a call. I gotta get back down to the hospital. Can we talk later?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Look, I appreciate everything you're doing. I'll call you as soon as I can.
Okay. Good. All right.
Thanks for lunch.
You bet.
Excuse me. I just want to let you know that I did not mean to intrude.
Don't worry about it. I understand.
Holidays certainly are coming up quickly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have you and Samantha decided what you're gonna do for Christmas?
Well, this is going to be the first Christmas that she really knows what's going on, and I want to make certain that it's really terrific for her.
I'm sure you will. I hope you have a good Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
Well, I better get to work.
Take care.
Yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, Jerry, you had a chance to study this. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what it is you're expecting me to see, though, Cruz.
Well, look at the right print in each of them.
Okay.
You see how it contrasts? Look at it. It's more consistently deep. It's cleaner than the left in each case. Look at this. The leading edge here on the left is always a little worn at the ridges. Look at this. As if the guy were in the habit of dragging his foot.
Cruz, you're right. The guy's got a bad left leg.
I said on this exactly.
What are you doing in here? Who are you? Security.
Still don't understand, Mom. If Dad said he really loved me, then why can't he come back?
Sweetie, it's complicated.
I think you just made the whole thing up to make me feel better.
Darling, Keith loves you. He always will. You can't doubt that.
Why did he run away?
Look, Brandon, we've been all through this. Sometimes people do things that make it impossible for them to stay with the ones who love them.
There must be some way we can get Dad to come back.
No, I doubt it. Probably take an act of God. Look, darling, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go powder my nose.
Hi.
Hey there. Hiya, son. I didn't know you were here.
I'm having lunch with my mom. She went to the powder room.
Oh, she did? Good. Well, sit down anyway. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Excited about Christmas being around the corner?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? What's wrong?
How do I get God to do something for me?
Is there something I could do?
No, it's a rough one. It's gonna take an act of God.
Oh. Well, I guess you could probably start with praying.
That's it? Just a regular old prayer?
Well, you can probably start by letting God know that you're very thankful for what you've been given so far.
Sort of butter him up first, then ask for what I want?
Yeah, you can look at it that way. But you gotta be very sincere and honest when you ask for something. Because he always knows when you mean it or not.
Wow. Sounds even tougher than Santa Claus.
I'm cranking it up all the way. And believe me, it ain't gonna tickle.
You're out of your mind.
You can tell me what I want to know?
You enjoy this, don't you? You're a real sicko.
All right. I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2.
Wait! Wait,
What's going on in here?
Oh, you act all innocent when you're the one that put him up to it.
Just one more joke. We'll find the files.
No.
Buddy, what are you doing? Get those wires off him.
I thought you wanted the files.
I want them, but I don't want to get the information like this.
He's been electrocuting me for hours.
Oh, give it a break. I had it on low all day. I knew you had a low threshold for pain.
Bunny, the wires. Take them off.
All right, geez. Trying to help.
I'm terribly sorry that there's been a misunderstanding.
I hope you'll be patient with me because I haven't done this very much. First off, I want to thank you for everything. Well, not everything because this hasn't been the greatest year. But I still got my mom, and she's the greatest. I guess you already know that since you know everything. Sometimes she does things that really don't thrill you, but she really means well. And I know how much she loves me. Now, the thing I really want to ask you about is getting my dad to come back. I miss him. So does my mom. Even though she won't admit it. Please, make him come back to us. Thanks. I mean, amen.
Brandon, you're a little new at this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you felt the need to come here. I saw your bike outside. I just want you to understand something. When you want something from God, you can't expect your wish to be granted like that.
I thought he was in charge of everything.
He is. But, I mean, he isn't a genie or something like that.
Well, I'm not asking for money or anything like that. I just want my dad to come back.
I know. I heard your prayer, and it was a really great prayer. I just want you to know that sometimes you have to pray for a long time before something happens.
So you don't want me to count on Dad to come back right away?
Well, I just want you to understand that sometimes when you ask God for something, he has other plans.
You mean, you might not want Dad to come back?
Well, he might know something. Come here. See, God might know something about what your dad needs right now that we don't know, and he's got to look out for what's best for all of us.
But I want Dad to come back.
I know. I just want to make sure that if that doesn't happen right away, that you don't lose faith. And that's that feeling you had that made you come in here.
How do I make sure it doesn't go away?
Well, what you can do is try to remember to talk to God more often. Not just here or home, whenever you want to. And you know what some people do? They wear something to remind them to do that. Maybe a ring, or I wear a medallion.
What medallion?
It was inconclusive. Hello?
I told you the baby was ours. Now you know for sure.
No, it was inconclusive.
No, I got the real report, and I wanted to give it to you myself.
This doesn't prove that the baby is yours.
But it proves it doesn't belong to Cruz. I guess if you were out whoring around, it could belong to just about anybody. But I know you wouldn't cheat on me, baby. And I've decided to let you break the news to Cruz yourself. Unless, of course, you want it to be our little secret.
Hey.
Hey.
So you rearranged your schedule and you got Christmas off, right?
No, not quite. I didn't have any luck at all.
I was afraid you were going to say that. So how about if I talk to Zach? Maybe he can get Ryan to cover for you for a couple of days.
No, honey, I don't think that's such a great idea. Ryan's supposed to go back east. Look, maybe we should just accept the fact that I can't get away this Christmas.
Well, we can still have a good Christmas here, huh? You and Michael and I. We can help him out with his toy drive.
You know, honey, I'd love to do that, but I'm kind of swamped right now in this whole thing with C.C. Capital's trial.
Well, you know what? With the way you've been acting all day, I can't help but get the feeling that you would completely avoid Christmas.
I never said that.
No, you don't have to say it because you're doing a great job of doing it. Scott, come on, just talk to me. I'm not trying to force you into anything. It's just that I feel so good around Christmas. I love Christmas.
Honey, I would love to feel that way too, but it's just not easy.
Well, I guess that wanting to is half the battle. You know what? I'm going to make it my job to see that you win the other half.
I hope you realize I never asked him to hurt you.
Yeah, I guess I know that. Thanks for getting him to stop.
I'm terribly sorry.
You really are, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, enough people have been hurt already. I know I've hurt your feelings in the past, and I never meant to.
Well, and you're the only one that cares about my feelings. Lord knows my daddy doesn't.
Why? What did C.C. do now?
No, he wants me to sidle back up to Julia.
Why?
Well, he says it's because he knows how much we really need each other, but it just happens to come to a time when he needs somebody to get her off his back because of this oil rig case.
Why, that old devil. He wants you to get in bed with Julia so you can save his hide.
And it's about the size of it.
You're not going to do it, are you?
I don't see I have much choice. How else am I going to find out if those files are worth a plug nickel or not?
Sonny, if you get back together with Julia, Mason's going to pop out, and that'll be the end of our plans.
No way is Mason going to come back. So that might be just what you want.
No. As a matter of fact, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what you said the other night. And a lot of it was right. I spend so much time being unsatisfied with what I've got, or who I'm with. I'd be a whole lot happier if I was with someone who was down and dirty like me. But I've always had this dream that I wanted to be classy and important. Somehow Mason represented that dream to me.
Darling, you wouldn't be happy that way for long, and you know it.
I know. I had a lot of fun with you. Sorry it didn't work out.
Well, who says it's over?
You.
Yeah, well, maybe I was just a little premature in dissolving our partnership. Maybe we ought to think about reestablishing it.
What about Julia?
I'll cross her bridge when I come to it.
One minute. Hi, Michael.
Hi. I'm sorry to bother you, but I seem to have misplaced my medallion. And I thought perhaps you'd found it somewhere.
Come on in. I'll check.
You don't remember seeing it?
Well, it's, Brenda, my cleaning lady, found it. She would have put it in this drawer.
Looks like you had an accident.
Yeah, I dropped a box of ornaments. I'm afraid it's not here.
I was certain this was the last place I had it on.
Well, I promise you, if I find it, I'll let you know.
Thanks. Do you want some help cleaning this up?
No, that's all right.
You got the decorations out. Did you pick out a tree?
Actually, now that I've dragged everything out, I'm thinking that I'm really not going to put up a tree.
Why not?
Because it's Samantha's Christmas, the Christmas she'll understand, and I want to take a trip with her because there's just too much tension around here, and I think she senses it.
Well, don't you think she'd sense her mother running away from her? I think she might find a lot more stability if she stayed in her own home. You could put a tree right there. I saw a perfect one down at the Children's Home lot.
Really, I don't...
Oh, come on. It'd be helping out charity. We sell trees and ornaments to raise money for the toy drive, and the rest of the year. They're great kids. You and Samantha would have a wonderful time.
I don't know, maybe we can do that.
Good. We'll count on it. So, gotta be gone.
If I find a medallion, I'll let you know.
Well, you were right about one thing. You were right about the fact that this was going to turn out to be a great day, because it certainly did, didn't it?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
You were terrific on the news, that's what happened. You handled that thing with your father's company flawlessly.
Oh.
Not to mention, I think I got a big break on the case.
What?
Well, you know that footprint we found on the beach? Forensics went through it, and it seems to indicate that the man has a bad leg. And unless I'm completely out of what's left in my mind, that's going to help us catch him.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I should say.
Do you have any idea who it is?
Not yet. Sit down.
Okay.
I got the whole task force working on it, though. There's, you know, we're looking at medical records and talking to doctors and cross-checking what we knew about him before with what we know now. I think, you know, it'll be just a matter of time.
That's great.
What's up? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Come on, talk to me.
I just got to thinking that things aren't as easy as I want them to be. I got to thinking about what you said and last night and how you feel.
Oh, no, you shouldn't think about that. You should think about what you said last night, because you were right. All I have to do is look in your eyes, and I know that everything's going to be okay. I mean it.